It was a single frame. A split second captured on a smartphone camera in a Salt Lake City parking lot. But for the millions who have followed the collapse of the Brown family dynasty, this wasn't just a photo. It was a declaration of war. Christine Brown and David Woolley, standing outside one of Utah's most prestigious fertility centers. In her hand, a folder. On her face, a look of quiet determination we haven't seen since she packed her bags in Flagstaff. Is the woman who once said she didn't just want the man, she wanted the family, about to start a new one at 53. And more importantly, is this the ultimate middle finger to the patriarch she left behind? Coming up, we break down the medical reality of a miracle baby, and why Kody Brown's inner circle says he is reportedly livid over the rumors. The Utah sighting, and the context. To understand why this photo caused a digital earthquake, we have to look at where it happened. The clinic in question isn't just a doctor's office, it's a beacon of hope for those seeking IVF and advanced reproductive technology. Eyewitnesses on Reddit and Facebook groups began reporting the sighting last Tuesday. They looked happy, but serious, one commenter noted. The speculation was immediate. The new brown baby. But let's look at the facts. Christine has 6 children. She has spent her life being the primary mom for nearly a dozen others. Why now? Why David? David Woolley, a successful construction business owner and a widower, has a large family of his own. Together, they are a blended powerhouse. But the desire to create something together, a biological link between their two worlds, is a narrative thread that resonates deeply with their fan base. We cannot talk about Christine's future without acknowledging the shadow of her past. For 25 years, Christine was the basement wife. She fought for scraps of attention in a plural marriage that eventually starved her of affection. Christine Brown, Season 17. I'm not a person to him anymore. I'm just a means to an end. Kody Brown's obsession with his legacy is well documented. On Sister Wives, his pride was his children. To see Christine, the wife he claimed he wasn't attracted to, finding a new partner who values her is one thing. But to see her potentially expand that family. Legal experts and family therapists suggest that in high-conflict divorces, reproduction as reclamation is a real psychological phenomenon. It's the idea of proving that the problem wasn't the individual, but the environment. Can she actually do it? We consulted fertility specialists on the realities of IVF at 50. The answer might surprise you. Modern medicine has changed the game. While the biological clock is a reality, options like egg donation, surrogacy, or previously frozen embryos make a miracle baby more than just a tabloid headline. If Christine and David are indeed exploring IVF, they are entering a world of high stakes and high costs. In Utah, these procedures can range from $15,000 to $30,000 per cycle. For a couple with their resources, the barrier isn't financial, it's physical and emotional. Community reaction. User, TLC_fanatic. On Reddit, if she has a baby with David, Kody will officially lose his mind. It's the ultimate victory. Facebook, Sister Wives T. Group. She deserves all the happiness. If a baby is what they want, let them have it. The impact on the OG3 and the kids. How do Janelle and Meri feel? How do the kids, Payson, Truly, and the older girls, react to the idea of a new sibling. We've seen truly bond with David. He has become a stable father figure in a way Kody struggled to be during the move to Flagstaff. A new baby wouldn't just be a new brown baby, it would be a Woolley, a child born into a monogamous, devoted household. The very thing Christine died for in her previous life. Is this about spite? Critics say Christine is performing her happiness to hurt Kody. They point to the frequent social media posts and the after photos. But look at the eyes. In every photo with David, the tension that lived in Christine's shoulders for 18 seasons is gone. If they are at a fertility clinic, it likely isn't to get a reaction from an ex-husband in Arizona. It's to fulfill a dream that was suppressed in the name of the principal. However, the spite narrative is what drives the ratings. Kody's reported reaction, anger, disbelief, and a sense of betrayal, only fuels the fire. Whether that folder in Christine's hand contained sonograms, lab results, or simply information, one thing is clear: the basement wife is gone. In her place is a woman who owns her body, her choices, and her future. The miracle isn't necessarily a new baby. The miracle is that Christine Brown survived a system designed to break her, and she came out the other side willing to love, and perhaps grow, again. As we wait for an official announcement, we have to ask ourselves, if this were your story, how far would you go to reclaim your joy? Let's deep dive in full details. It began with a single photograph. A quiet moment, captured from a distance. A woman stepping out of a car. A man holding the door. And a building behind them, labeled as a fertility clinic. Within hours, the image spread across fan pages, Reddit threads, and YouTube channels. The caption was simple, but the implication was explosive. Was Christine Brown, now in her 50s, planning a baby? And if so, why now? Alongside her was David Woolley, her new husband. A man who entered her life after years of emotional upheaval. And almost immediately, the speculation took on a sharper edge. Was this a miracle baby? Or something more symbolic? A new beginning? Or a final statement? To understand why this rumor resonated so deeply, we have to go back. Back to the early days of Sister Wives. A show that promised to explore plural marriage with honesty and openness. At its center was Kody Brown. And his wives, including Christine. Christine entered the marriage in 1994. She was not just another wife. She was the third wife. The emotional anchor. The caregiver. Over time, viewers saw her role become increasingly strained. In multiple episodes, Christine spoke openly about feeling unseen. In season 16, she made a statement that would echo across the series. "I can't do marriage with Kody anymore." That moment marked a turning point, not just for her, but for the entire Brown family structure. Christine's departure in 2021 was historic within the context of the show. It was the first time a wife publicly left the plural marriage. Legally, spiritually, and emotionally, the separation was clear. Under U.S. law, plural marriage is not legally recognized. Only one marriage can be legally binding at a time. In the Brown family's case, Kody's only legal marriage was with Robyn Brown following a divorce from Meri Brown in 2014. Christine's marriage was considered a spiritual union, meaning her departure required no legal proceedings. But emotionally, the impact was immense. She relocated to Utah, rebuilt her life, and, eventually, found love again. Her relationship with David Woolley became public in early 2023. Later that year, they married. For many fans, it felt like closure. A second chance. But now, the fertility clinic rumor suggested something else. Not just a new chapter, but an entirely new story. The alleged sighting took place in Utah, a state with a growing number of advanced fertility centers. Facilities in the region offer services such as IVF, egg donation, and hormone therapy, options often used by individuals over 40. According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, fertility treatments in women over 50 are rare but not impossible. Cases of pregnancies in this age group typically involve donor eggs and intensive medical supervision. However, there is no confirmed evidence that Christine underwent any such procedure. No official statement, no medical records, no confirmation from Christine or David. The image itself remains unverified. And yet, the reaction was immediate. On Reddit, one user wrote, "If Christine has a baby now, that's the ultimate full circle moment." Another responded, "This feels like gossip blown out of proportion. People go to clinics for many reasons." On Facebook groups dedicated to sister wives, the tone was more emotional. "She deserves happiness, whatever that looks like." Meanwhile, YouTube comment sections told a different story. Some framed the rumor as a narrative of empowerment. Others saw it as provocation. A recurring theme emerged. Would this upset Kody? To understand that question, we need to examine Kody's public statements. In later seasons of Sister Wives, Kody expressed frustration about the breakdown of his marriages. At one point, he stated, "I never really loved Christine the way she wanted me to." The comment sparked backlash among fans. Many viewed it as dismissive. Others saw it as honesty long overdue. If Christine were to have a child now, outside of the plural family, it would represent a profound shift. Not just personally, but symbolically. For years, Christine raised children within a shared structure. A system built around Kody. A new child, in a monogamous relationship, would stand in direct contrast to that past. Let's pause and separate fact from speculation. Medically, pregnancy after 50 is extremely rare. According to clinical data, success rates for IVF decrease significantly with age. Most successful cases involve donor eggs and carry higher health risks. Doctors typically require extensive screening before proceeding. So while the idea of a miracle baby is compelling, it remains statistically unlikely. There is also another possibility. Fertility clinics do not only serve those seeking pregnancy. They also provide hormonal evaluations, menopause management, general reproductive health services. Without confirmation, the purpose of the visit remains unknown. Throughout Sister Wives, Christine's journey has been one of transformation. In earlier seasons, she spoke about wanting to be the fun wife, the one who kept the family together. But over time, her tone shifted. In season 17, she reflected, "I realized I was settling for less than I deserved." That realization resonated deeply with viewers. Her departure became one of the most discussed moments in reality TV. Now, this rumor, true or not, fits into a larger narrative. A woman reclaiming control over her life, her choices, her future. The Brown family's story has always existed at the intersection of personal life and public debate. Polygamy, while practiced in some communities, remains legally and socially complex in the United States. Utah, in particular, has a long history tied to plural marriage. In 2020, the state reduced penalties for consensual polygamy, reclassifying it from a felony to an infraction. This legal shift reflected changing attitudes, but not universal acceptance. Christine's move back to Utah symbolized both a return and a departure. A return to her roots, and a departure from the structure that defined her for decades. Why did this rumor spread so quickly? Because it taps into something deeper. Reinvention, vindication, and the idea that it's never too late to start again. For fans, Christine represents resilience. For critics, the rumor raises questions about media ethics and privacy. And for the broader audience, it highlights how quickly narratives can form around incomplete information. If the rumor proves false, it still leaves a lasting impact. It reinforces Christine's position as a central figure in the evolving story of sister wives. It also underscores the shifting dynamics within the Brown family. Kody's role has changed, the plural structure has fractured, and individual stories have taken center stage. If, however, any part of the rumor were true, it would mark one of the most dramatic developments in the show's history. A literal new generation, outside the original framework. As of now, there is no verified confirmation of a pregnancy. No official statements. No medical disclosures. Only a photograph. And the conversations it sparked. Christine continues to share glimpses of her life through social media. Moments of joy, family gatherings, a sense of peace. David Woolley remains by her side. Supportive, steady, and largely private. And Kody, he remains a figure of ongoing discussion. A man whose family, and public image, has undergone profound change. Sometimes, a story isn't about what happened. It's about why people believe it might have. The idea of a new brown baby carries emotional weight. Not because it's confirmed, but because it represents something powerful. A break from the past. A challenge to expectations. And the enduring human desire for new beginnings. Whether the rumor fades or evolves, one thing is certain. Christine's story is no longer defined by where she came from, but by where she chooses to go next. What do you think? Is the new brown baby rumor a reality, or just a misunderstanding of a routine doctor's visit? And how do you think Kody will respond in the upcoming season? Drop your theories in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want more deep dives into the lives of the OG3, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't forget to like this video if you're Team Christine.